I always felt with good officials, there was a couple things to me that were, really important about good officials, and that's, the game. I'm not saying you had to be a player or a great player or anything, but you have to know the game. And as a young coach, I would always watch teams play that I thought the coaches were really good. I was trying to steal stuff all the time from those coaches, and just trying to learn as much as possible about the game because you think you know a lot about the game, but once you get into it, then all of a sudden you're coaching at the Division I level. You sometimes you didn't want to look down the other bench because those guys were good down the other bench, and you can be intimidated. So anything you can do to learn the game, clinics, camp experience, all those things. And I would put myself in the place of the other coaches. Would I call timeout in that situation? Would I have made that substitute? Are we playing the right style for the personnel that I have? And I think you do that as a referee too. And you work really hard at getting a feel for the game. And I think that is really important, that you do have a feel for the game. And then the conditioning aspect, obviously, I started when there was two officials, and so it would really show up if one of the officials wasn't in shape. With three, you have a little more leeway, but at the same time, the game's a lot quicker now. And people say, well, there's three officials. Well, that doesn't mean that you can't be in as good a shape as you can be in to be a good official. And obviously, some veteran officials have the advantage of working a ton of games and kind of can cheat where they are on the floor a little bit, in terms of not getting beat in fast breaks and things like that. But I think conditioning, you can't get away from that. It's really important. The rules are important, but I'd rather have a referee that really knew the game and could feel the game and things like that and get a feel for the players and all those things than know every rule in the book. I mean, anybody, I always felt that, with coaching too, you can know a lot of things about coaching, but can you coach? Can you put that into your team? And it's the same thing with a referee. You might know all the rules, but it's more important that you're really the type of referee that can really feel the flow of the game and what's going on in the game. If there's any problems, you pick up early on that. And I think that can be really important. And then, you talk. I think good officials talk to the players. Now it's a lot easier when you get to be veteran officials, but I always thought high school referees could really help players, and especially today with a lot of these kids. They've played a lot of AAU basketball, and I'm sure some of the referees tonight have worked the AAU games. And there's a tendency for those games to get chippy in a hurry, and you have to see that coming. You have to be able to settle that down. And I've had referees in my games quite a few times just call players together, one from each team, and say, look, we're not going to play like that tonight. This isn't going to happen. We're going to have a great game. You guys are really good. And, but if you don't want to do that, then, some things are going to happen that you don't like. And I think all good officials have that ability to really calm things down and see it in advance.